Hey, this is Judah Mantel from SceneForge Studio, and in this video I'm going to go over version 0.5.19. It has some interesting changes as well as a really cool new feature that I'm excited to share. So let's jump right in. So first and foremost, let's talk about the changes. I have a video surface here and it's selected, and you can see that if I click Configure Global Footage, the configuration menu looks quite a bit different. You can see I have a live feed running. I'm going to switch to a video clip, and I'll go over that in a second. It looks quite different because rather than a preview on the user interface itself, now we can actually configure our Chromakey using the actual near final image in real time in the 3D scene. So I have a video clip. I'll select the dog on seat because I like that video much better. And you can see as I adjust these properties, you'll see them update here. So I'm going to select a key color, adjust the cutoff. We have all the same features as before, cropping and all that. And you can click Finish when you're done. Now, I say it's the near final image because by default, regardless of the settings you have in the Properties menu, the material of the object that you're using will always be unlit. That just allows you to get a more accurate selection when you're working regardless of the scene lighting. So now when you're done, you can click Finished and then activate the surface as you want, control your media, and of course turn on unlit if you would like. Now you got a little preview at the beginning of this, is that the live camera support is working pretty great right now, and I'm very happy to show that. So I'll configure global footage, and I have another webcam here, so I'm going to put a playing card in front of it so you don't see my messy background. And I'm going to go to live camera, and you can see that I have a drop down of different inputs, or you can refresh them if you plug a new one in. Now this is using any webcam that's detected by the computer. So if you're using a capture card or like a deck link card, that'll work like this, or any old USB webcam that I'm using here on the side. So I'm going to select my webcam over here, and once it registers, you'll see we have our video feed. This is not a very high resolution camera, it's only 720p, but it does work. And you can see entirely in real time, I can select my colors, and I can adjust a key this way. This is not a very good example just because the video is very low resolution and grainy, but you can see it does work really well. And when you're finished, the camera will turn off, and will activate again as you activate the surface with a live camera feed running into it. And so that's that. So body tracking works seamlessly with this. Right now the feed is not very interesting, but if you have a person in front of a green screen, it will work the same way. And yeah, that's the new Chromakey configuration window. Now what's cool is that this is in preparation for an upcoming feature that will actually automatically crop the video feed depending on where the green screen is in the frame, which allows for a moving camera in essentially simulating a large green screen environment, even if you only have a small backdrop green screen. I'm really excited to show that in a future release. Now let's talk about the major new feature in this release, and that is Open Sound Control support. So I'm going to delete this object, and I'm going to go up to my networking tab over here, and you'll see it opens up a new menu that looks quite a bit different. We have our mobile app connection over here. This is all the same. But we also have OSC, or Open Sound Control, set up down here. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description, but if you don't know, Open Sound Control is a protocol that's open source for sending data back and forth over your Wi-Fi network. It's traditionally used for sound control, for like music setups, using audio creators and things like that. But in this case, we're going to be using it to allow any user on any device to send data to SceneForge and control different aspects of the scene. This is really useful for an on-set environment, or if you're editing a scene and you want to have someone else control the lighting, things like that. It's really versatile and just adds so many more avenues for customization in SceneForge. So it's really simple because SceneForge is only a listener, not a sender. So what that means is that when you click init, it'll just run in the background. You don't have to worry about it. You'll have your local host IP address over here, and it uses port 7500 over UDP. So it basically means that if you understand that stuff, it has the information for you. If not, don't worry about it. It works beautifully. So while this is running, I can open up any OSC-enabled app. I have one on my phone right now, and it's just a bunch of sliders and UI elements, and I set it up to adjust the time of day with a slider on the screen. And this will work with any app that supports this. Now, behind the scenes, what's happening is that I'm sending a specified address, or essentially a keyword, to SceneForge, and it knows what to do with that data from there. So if I open up the documentation, you can see a list of the current bindings available in SceneForge. There are not that many, but this will grow as the feature expands. So you can see it's just a simple path or an address to whatever feature you're going for. So we have the time of day, we have move speed for the clouds, fog density, fog color, and things like that. There is more information in the documentation for how to set it up, and that can be linked by just clicking over here on this blue link, and that'll open up in your browser. And so that is really the main new features, the new Chromakey, as well as this open sound control system. Like I said, this will be built upon and expanded, and one of the coolest things is that because this is open source and we're kind of creating a protocol for data sent in and out of SceneForge that's kind of like a standard, if you have other tracking systems like a Vive tracker or an Intel RealSense, while I do plan on adding native support for those, if you have some sort of server running in the background, you can use SceneForge's built-in phone tracking with data from those systems. So it's really cool. It just makes it much more universal in terms of data going in and out of SceneForge. And so with that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.